Hello everybody, Shinjo here, and I just want to say I feel really bad, even though I didn't do it on purpose. So, I went through my usual thing maybe like a week and a half ago. I looked through every single anime from the spring season. Well, not everyone. If they looked interesting, I looked at them and said what they were about. But I didn't realize that my audio cut out within the first 3 minutes in my first recording, and then I caught that, cut it, re-recorded it, fixed my mic settings, what have you, and then it cut out about halfway through that. I think the next part was like 18 minutes, and half of the stuff that I discussed wasn't even included there. So I didn't want to go through every single anime from the season again because I already read over a lot of them. So instead, what I'm going to do is just discuss the shows that I am planning on watching from the season. Some of them may be dropped. Some shows that may not be here may be included later. And I can already see that there's shows that are in this section that aren't from this season, but we're not going to really acknowledge them. So up first, right, Anne Shirley, if I'm not mistaken, that's like the Anne of Green Gables like anime adaptation or something like that. Seems really interesting, so I'm hoping that it's actually going to be good. Actually, what will be better is pull up my MAL from here in case I don't remember what a show is about. So then I can talk about what it is and what it stands for and all that stuff. And my recording is still showing my audio, so that's a good sign. So the next one is this one. Dano no Yujo wo Seritsu Suru Iyashina, which... Okay, so that actually kind of helps that I pull it up from my phone. It translates to, can a boy-girl friendship survive? So, where's the Honeyworks? Wait a minute. Honeyworks and Hakon Kawalalaba. I believe those are the same two that sang the opening to 365 Days to the Wedding, which is interesting. So this one, a boy and girl pledged lifelong friendship in a small town junior high school. The relationship between the two, who are destined to share a common dream, has passed 2 years without any particular development. Himari, a bubbly girl who is yet to find her first love, and Yu Natsumi, a plant-loving boy who enjoys flowers, still spend their days peacefully as best friends in the gardening club in the second year of high school. But then Yu reunites with his first crush. The gears of the relationship suddenly go out of sync. Okay, so it's just like a rom-com sort of vibe, which is fine, I guess. I don't know. It sounds interesting enough, and at the same time, it may be good, it may not be good. I'm mainly just going for the character designs, which I probably should have checked while I was here. It's JC Staff, of course it is. You know, I don't know how to explain this, but it looks like it's JC Staff. And, of course, Fire Force season 3, I think? 3rd season, yeah. It's been so long. When was the last season, actually? Because I don't actually know. At this point, if you don't know Fire Force, then I'm not gonna force you to watch it. So, this is season 2, right? Fire Force season 2. That was at the end of 2020. That is insane. It's been 5 years, which makes sense because it's been a long time. I mean, at this point, I'm just along for the ride. I'm not really... I mean, the story is interesting enough. Oh, also, there's a Kobayashi Dragon movie. And it is... It doesn't say when it is. I think it's like in the summer, maybe June or July or something like that. It is... June. Yeah, end of June. Okay. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to be able to watch it anyway because movies are harder to find on here. And actually, I might be able to find it on Crunchyroll. I don't know if they have how much movies they have. Then more Konosuba, which is great because Konosuba is great. And then Kowloon Generic Romance. Let me read on this one. First of all, it's by Arvo Animation, and that sounds familiar, and I don't know exactly why. It's the same people that did Bokuben. Of course it is. And that's the only one that I've watched. To be fair, they've only done 9 things, and that is counting this show. Okay, so let me see. Which one's this one about again? I'll read it for you guys in case you're not familiar with it. In the distant future, individuals who adore the old way of life, live in Kowloon Walled City, a slum city that serves as a refuge for those who long for the Hong Kong of the past. Realtor Keiko Kujirai, however, craves for the new and exciting places in the area. In contrast, her only co-worker, Hajime Kudo, enjoys the nostalgia the city invokes and is put off by anything modern that seeps past its walls. But despite their differing views and constant bickering on the most mundane of things, the two often find themselves enjoying each other's company. One day, a prank gone wrong leads Hajime to make an unexpected advance towards Reiko, after which he swiftly apologizes for. Baffled by his actions, Reiko starts investigating for possible explanations, only to discover a past that she has no memory of. So I think I discussed this part when I was reading it the first time. The fact that it's an adult cast is already a plus, but also I'm hoping the title is a bit of a troll and it's not actually a generic romance, because I am not going to be a huge fan of it if it's super generic. But it sounds interesting enough. Now this is one that I am really looking forward to. Lazarus. So a coworker of mine showed me this. It's from Studio Mappa. Okay. I don't want to be one of those people that's always feeding into the Studio Mappa sort of vibe, but like, it's gotta be good because, let me see. I don't remember what it is. I think it's, yes, it's the director, and I believe I don't know. Like, I don't know exactly who it is, but I know a good chunk of people carry over from this show from shows like Samurai Champloo and Cowboy Bebop, which makes sense because those two, even in dub, have a lot of the same voices. Heck, the same main lead voices Mugen and Spike, so that makes a lot of sense. But like, this show just looks really cool, and I didn't even realize this until I looked on here. The main character Axel is Mamoru Miyano, so that's probably going to bring in a lot of people as well. But yeah, I don't even know how to explain this. The year is 2052 in the show, not in real life. Mankind has no sickness or pain. There's a Nobel-winning neuroscientist called Dr. Skinner that has a miracle cure-all drug with no apparent drawbacks, and it's called Hapuna. But unfortunately, it becomes really vital to everybody. But as soon as it's introduced, Dr. Skinner vanishes. I actually didn't read this. 3 years later, the world has moved on, but Dr. Skinner has returned, this time as a harbinger of doom. Skinner announces that Hapuna has a short half-life. Everyone who has taken it will die in approximately 3 years. Death is coming for the sinful world and coming soon. As a response to this threat, a special task force of 5 agents is gathered from across the world to save humanity from Skinner's plan. This group is called Lazarus. Can they find Skinner and develop a vaccine? Okay, that's neat. So I'm assuming the 5 are the 5 people here. So Axel, Elena, Doug, Christine, and Leland? Maybe? I don't know. But whatever, I really like these character designs. They're really, really neat. And if you're a fan of shows like Cowboy Bebop or Samurai Champloo, I feel like there's going to be a lot of fans of this as well. Alright, so next up is Mono. And Mono, right, that's the photography one. So let me see. The photography club is in danger of shutting down, and the cinema club, and they merge to become the Cinephoto Club. Maybe this isn't the one. Now, club members Satsuki, Anne, and Sakurako are asked to be the main characters for manga artist Haruno's latest work that centered around action cameras. No, maybe it was. I don't know. So, like, you know, in any high school anime, the clubs are worried about being closed down because they don't have enough people, so they merge two clubs together, and then it's just slice of life. And I actually really never looked at these designs before. I really like them. And Aoi Koga is one of the leads. That is going to be great. Yeah, these designs are really unique, actually. And I don't recognize the studio. I'm curious on the studio. It's Soinge? It's only one other show. What is this? Kamina Botan Yuri Sugata wo Yuri no Hana. Was this been out? I don't know. I see a year. I don't know. Oh well. But regardless, this studio hasn't worked on much, so this might be like the emergence of a new studio for all I know. I really appreciate somebody mowing while I'm busy recording, but who knows? You might not be able to hear it anyway. So next is Ninja and Korishira and Futagarashi. This one is like an assassin and a ninja working under. Yeah. Satoko, a female ninja who has left their village with her comrades, finds herself living with Konoha, a high school girl working as an assassin in the city. And like, the ninja girl can use ninja stuff, and it catches Konoha's attention. They strike a deal. Konoha provides Satoko with a place to live in exchange for Satoko's help with cleaning up after her assassin jobs. So yeah, it's very simple. It's by Studio Shaft. The translation is a ninja and an assassin under one roof. And this is going to be the first time that you hear me say this, and probably the only time. The ninja looks absolutely adorable. I'm looking at the design right now. It looks really cute. Although I don't know. Kana Hanazawa is singing the opening, and the ending is by the same people that did 365 Days of the Wedding. They're really getting a lot of publicity this season. Congratulations on them. But I don't know if I've watched much from Shaft. Right, they did a lot of Monogatari. They did Madoka Magica. They have done Sangatsu no Lion. I started it, never finished it. Yeah, they do a lot of Monogatari. It might be good, it may not be good, but whatever. Rock wa Lady no Tashinami Deshita, which I like to call Girls Band Cry version 2. Because it is at an elite all-girls academy where young ladies gather. Lalisa Suzunomiya, now the daughter of a real estate tycoon after her mother remarried, is forced to abandon her guitar and rock music to fit in. But her passion is reignited by the sounds of her old high school building, and she meets a drummer who shares her love of rock. And together they embrace their inner rock stars, elegantly clashing and shouting their way through the academy in this captivating tale of grace and rebellion. So yeah, it's basically Girls Band Cry. The only catch is it's probably not going to have 3D, which may be good for some people, may not be good for some people. Although I'm realizing that, I mean, with a music-based show, it kind of has to be. But to add more hype to it, the opening is by Bandmaid, and the ending is by Little Glee Monster. And I don't know if it was the first time I listened to Bandmaid. With the Yu-Gi-Oh! Reigns ending, that's, as far as I can remember, it's the first time I remember it. But that's going to be really interesting, and I hope that it's going to live up to the hype. So, what one is this one again? Saikyo no Osama. The beginning after the end is what it's called. Right. So, there's this person, Gray. He's the strongest in the world, but he trusts no one, and nobody stands by his side. One day, he meets his death as reincarnated as a powerless infant named Arthur. Surrounded by a loving family, he starts to experience joys in his life that he never knew from his previous one. But after a journey one day, his family is attacked by bandits. So it's like the start of Demon Slayer. Spoilers, by the way, for anybody that hasn't watched the first episode of Demon Slayer. But yeah, I really only wanted to consider it because it sounds interesting to see what they're going to do with it, but I don't expect myself to finish it. Now this one, Shin Samurai Yaiba. It really looks like an early 90s sort of vibe. And it's from, that's right, I do remember mentioning that it's from Wit Studio because I believe that Wit also did Urusei Yatsura, or at least the newer version of it. Of course they did Attack on Titan, they did Spy Family, but I do believe they did Osama Ranking too, they did Vivi. I do think that they did one of those two sort of rebrand sort of things. Maybe they didn't, because I'm looking on here and I'm not seeing it. This is actually not that long to read. The protagonist, Kuragane Yaiba, is a samurai wild child who trains in the jungle with his father, Kenjiro. By a twist of fate, the determined samurai Yaiba returns to Japan and encounters his rival, Onimaru Takeshi. Yaiba, who lives for serious battle, embarks on a spectacular adventure when Onimaru obtains the legendary demon sword. So it really is like super simple, but it's a shonen. You know what you're getting into when you're watching it, and I hope that it delivers. Shuinji Kei no Koto Tamadachi. I believe that this is the one that is Dogakobo. That's it. It was either, Dogakobo or something of the sort. And it is the Shuinji family children. So, let's see. There are two sins. Well, I mean, after you find out what's going on in the show, you might consider that. 2 sons and 5 daughters of the Shuinji family. They're very smart, they're very beautiful, they have equal measure. They have a wealthy father. Eldest son, Arata, has spent his life being tossed around by the whims of his colorful sisters. But when his youngest sister turns 15, their father reveals a long-hidden secret of the Shuinji siblings and knocks Arata's world off its axis. And now that I'm seeing that one of the genres here is love polygon, I feel like you can almost guess what the plot twist is going to be. But they're really pulling out the stops. One girl is Kana Ichinose, one's Ri Takahashi. One of them is Chika Anzai. And I recognize that name from somewhere. She's one of the Amagami sisters, which from what you saw up there doesn't mean anything because I haven't watched it. I feel like I've looked at this before. Oh, she's the Nana girl from the cat anime from a while ago, if that means anything to anybody but me. But she's Chisei from Gridman Universe, if that means anything to anybody. Right, Kosaka from Hibike Euphonium, that's right. So yeah, this is going to be something alright. And of course, you could probably imagine the ending is sung by every single one of the girls, because why wouldn't it be? This one's gonna be easy. Slime 300, if you watch the first season, you're gonna watch the second season. I really enjoyed the first season, so I'm gonna continue it. Summer Pockets. What is Summer Pockets about again? Oh, this is the one on the island. It's set on an isolated, rural, and peaceful island on the Seto Island inland sea called... I'm not going to pronounce that. There's a population of about 2,000. And Hirai Takahara grew up in an urban setting, but after an unpleasant incident, he uses the recent death of his grandmother as an excuse to come to the island to take care of her estate sale. Once there, he gets to know 4 girls who are the focus of the story. Naruse, who forgot her summer vacation, Sorokado, who is pursuing the legends of the island, Kushima, a high school girl looking for a pirate ship, and Samugi Wenders, a younger girl trying to find herself. And now that I'm looking at these characters, they certainly are light novel. Oh, visual novel is the source. Yeah, same thing. Okay, so Naruse is the one who forgot her summer vacation. That one is going to be Chika Fujiwara. and I am really excited to see that. And of course, next, My Hero Vigilante. If you watch anything My Hero, you're gonna watch it. I don't know exactly what it's about, but I know kind of what it is, but I'm going in essentially blind. Now, I was wondering about this before. The studio says Bones Film. I don't know if that's an extra subset of Studio Bones, or if it's something completely different, or whatever it is. That's just kind of odd to me. Now we're going to go through the last three. Witch Watch. This is the one where the childhood friend becomes a familiar, right? Yeah, the ogre. Nico has finished her 6 years of witch training and is moving back to town by herself, but she must choose a familiar. Unlike the other witches, she picks a non-animal. There's no better companion than her childhood friend, Moy. Her childhood friend, who's also an ogre. He is opposed to it, but he reluctantly accepts his fate after learning that a curse would revert him into a strange cow-tiger hybrid if he would disobey her order. And they live under the same roof because anime. And Nico is living with her crush, of course, the childhood friend. I could have imagined that. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I mean, it sounds interesting enough. Now, not that I need to look at this. Yu-Gi-Oh! Card Game, The Chronicles. They don't have voices yet. They're not going to have anime openings. But yeah, it's just Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards animated. If you watch the trailer, you obviously already know what's going to be going on with that. It's going to be on YouTube, I believe it is. So I'm really excited to see what comes of that. And finally, we're ending it off with Zatsu Tabi. That's Journey. Which I literally just watched the trailer of this before I recorded this. And it is about the following. Chika Suzugamori, a rookie manga artist, has been rejected every time she submits a new draft. On the verge of giving up, she suddenly gets the idea of going on a journey. A journey that heals precisely because it's rough. This is the ultimate travel comic. So yeah, it's just laid back camp without the camp. Not that that's necessarily a bad thing, but it's just going to be something that is really soothing. At least I hope it is. But that is all the stuff that I'm planning on watching for the spring season. Obviously, there was a bunch more stuff that I didn't touch on. But if there's anything that you think is worth watching from this season, let me know down in the comment section. And to be fair, half of the stuff I may not even continue, or I may put on hold for later. But I hope that you enjoyed this scuffed video. At least on the plus side, it'll be less editing on my part. But I still do feel bad, even though it had nothing to do with anything that I did. It was just technology. But I hope that you enjoyed this video for what it was. And I hope that you enjoyed this video. I'll see you next time. Momentai.